The 25th Hour Radio Show. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to the 25th Hour Radio Show today here on Monster Radio, AM 1150. On the phone with me today is one of the newest inductees into the Country Music Hall of Fame, Mr. Charlie Daniels. Charlie, thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day to join me on the show.
Thank you, Rob. And you know what? It's really weird to hear you attached to my name about anything.
Oh, man. You know, I thought you gave a perfect acceptance speech as far as being inducted. It was only a few minutes in length, but you really packed a big punch in those 2 minutes. I mean, you could tell your words were really heartfelt. You know, it must be an amazing feeling for you to be honored like that for your life's work in country music.
Well, Rob, that's the one you don't even dream about. I mean, you have absolutely no control over it. You can't cut a better record or try harder or lobby somebody or something for you. You just have to hope that one day that a bunch of people walk into a room and somebody else says, let's put Charlie Daniels in the Hall of Fame, and enough hands go in the area to do it. And there are so many people. Another thing, too, there's so many people I feel that deserve this even more than I do. And I am very humbled by the fact that they chose me. It's real. I still have not learned to assimilate it into my life yet that it's actually true that I'm a member of or will be a member of the Hall of Fame.
So 2016 is shaping up to be a pretty big year for you. On August 26th, your new album Nighthawk drops. So this is a sort of a different style of album than albums in the past that you've released, right?
Rob, it's an album I've been wanting to make for a long time. I have long had when I was a kid, every movie house in the South, at least the ones in the small towns I lived in, played those old black and white westerns. Every week, it was Gene Autry, it was Roy Rogers, the Sunset Carson, Lash LaRue, and all the kids that, we just idolized the cowboys and the cowboy thing. And as I grew older and started knowing what cowboy was really about, it was not people going out the street with guns fighting. It was about making a living handling cows, and I got a great respect for the working cowboy. And I wanted to do an album that kind of reflects the working cowboy's life rather than just the shootouts and the, riding up into the sunset in the silver-mounted saddle. So that's what Nighthawk is about. It's about a big part of it. There's a couple of traditional songs on there. But actually it's about the life of the working cowboy. The guys that still, till this day, are still making a living punching cows out in places like Nevada and Texas and Idaho and the western states. I used to go out there when I was younger to mount a horse well, and I used to go out and work with these guys during their brandings and stuff, and it's sleep out in a range teepee at night. They had a cook that went out. And, I mean, it's another whole way of life, and it's a hard work. It's a wonderful way of life, and I have very much admiration for it. That's what this album is about.
Now, is there a song or two on this album that you would consider as favorites?
Well, there's a song that, I don't know if you're familiar, but I lost a band member. It had been maybe 4 years ago with Kazzy Gregoria that killed in a car wreck. Mm-hmm. And that's been about 5 years ago now. And he had written a song called You Can't Beat the Damned Old Machine. That has to do with an old cowboy talking about the way things used to be and about how they'd come in and fenced off the land and put up all the modern things, and there was no place for somebody like him. His way of life was fast disappearing. I've been wanting to record it for years, and I had the opportunity with this particular album to do it. That one touches home to me a lot. The title song, Nighthawk, I don't know why somebody has not, and maybe somebody has, but I never heard it. Somebody never recorded this song before because it's one of the greatest Western songs I've ever heard. And I try to, a lot of the songs on there are kind of favorites of mine and things I've been thinking about recording for years.
Now, have you been mixing in any of these songs in your concerts just to give your fans a taste of what the album is about? Or are you holding out until the album release date?
Well, I haven't been, and I don't know if we'll add a song anytime soon or not. Our set is so full, Rob, that by the time we get through doing the songs that we have to do every night, I mean, you've got people come to hear you because of the songs they've heard you guys play on the radio, not stuff you have never heard. So by the time we do Devil Went Down to Georgia and Legend of Willie Swamp and Long Haired Country Boy and those all the songs that we that we feel we have to do, and then put a couple of new things in. An hour and a half's gone by, and it's hard to fit something new in. But I'm going to try to answer your question. I'm going to try, especially at some of the concerts that we have a little more time. I'm going to try to stick one of those songs in.
Now, speaking of touring, you're still out there doing over 100 dates a year, which I know your fans are happy about. But do you see a time in the future that you might start to slow down a little bit, or has that not even crossed your mind?
Well, I have slowed down. I used to do a lot more dates in that year's time, but we do we do 100 some dates this year. We try to do 100. We try to do 10 Grand Ole Opry appearances, some recordings, some charity things, and by the time you do that, our season is, the year's gone, So, we just, I kind of will take it as it's a good Lord's will for me to do it. I think if I need to slow down, that He'll let me know. And I have already, like I say, I've already slowed down. I don't do 200 dates a year anymore. And, it's kind of a natural sort of a thing. I am able to handle what I do right now very well. 100 around 100 and 110 dates a year we can do. So we'll see if we need to cut it back some more. We'll cut it back some more. If not, we'll just keep going down that same old path.
We'll keep going down that same old path. And real quick, before we start to wrap things up, I want to make sure I plug this year's volunteer jam at Bridgestone Arena on November 30th. You've got some pretty big names coming up to help you out with that, right?
Oh, gosh, yeah. We got Travis Tripp. We got Larry the Cable Guy, Chris Stapleton, Kid Rock. And I got a very, very exciting piece of news yesterday that it's not been absolutely confirmed, so I can't bring it up yet. But if it comes to fruition, we'll be bringing it. And we have some more people that we can announce. Sometimes you get people that have a commitment in the area, and they can't be announced publicly until they have that date played or whatever it is they have to do, their commitment made. So we've got some other people that we already have signed on that we haven't been able to announce yet. And let's just say we're going to have a very, very fun, exciting jam this year on November 30th. And we're going to be celebrating my 80th birthday. Of course, that's about a month late, but when you turn 80, you can celebrate as long as you want to.
That's right. That's right. Now, a portion of the proceeds of this year's volunteer jam go towards the Journey Home Project, which you are the chairman of the board. Where can people get more info on this important service you're helping to provide for all American servicemen and women?
Let me first correct you right there. A part of the profits go to the Journey Home Foundation.
Okay.
The Journey Home Foundation, you can look it up on the internet. It will give you the tenets and the mission and what we do and some of the things we have done. And it is a organization made to help the veterans who come home, usually from war zones, to transition back into civilian life. And there's a lot. It sounds like a very simple thing to us civilians who have never done it, but sometimes it's a pretty traumatic situation, going from being shot at to, just having to dodge cars and stuff.
Yeah.
But we try to help them out, and we did with the help of our sponsors last year. We came up with $300,000 for the Journey Home Foundation. We'll see what we do this year. I don't really know.
And like I mentioned earlier, be on the lookout August 26th for Charlie's new album, Nighthawk. You can get all that information and more at charliedaniels.com. Charlie, is there anything else you'd like to add or say to your fans out there before we start to sign off here?
I would just like to thank everybody for letting me live my dreams. I have lived my dream for the last 58 years now. I've done exactly what I want to do for a living. I never wanted to be. After I learned 3 chords on the guitar, I never wanted to be anything else but a professional musician. And God has granted me the desire of my heart. So many wonderful things have happened. I was 70 when I got on the Grand Ole Opry. And then I'm 79 when I get to the Hall of Fame. So I don't know. We'll see what else the Lord's got store for me. I'm ready to go.
And one more thing I almost forgot. My mother-in-law, Lori Tite, wanted me to make sure I told you hi. She's a big fan. So Lori Tite says hi.
Well, you tell Lori I said hi next time I see her. I'm going to hug her neck. How's that?
All right. That'll be perfect. Well, Charlie, thank you so much for taking a few minutes out of your day to join me on the show. It's been my pleasure, sir.
God bless you, my friend.
God bless you. 25th Hour Radio Show.